Hello everyone, welcome back. Okay, you can see the stone wall. Well, you can't see the stone wall, but the stone wall penjing is back in again for another clean up. The tree as well is starting to really push out this side where the sun is coming from this side. As you can see, that side of the tree, I need to reduce that in a bit. And I definitely need to reduce some of this because in under there is a stone wall which you can't even see at the moment. So we'll clean up the landscape first and then we'll have a look at the tree. So first of all, we'll just give this little honeysuckle guy a bit of a trim back. Just again, we're just edge pruning it into a bit of a kind of a small tree effect. Just kind of like that. Nothing too major with it. It's just like a little miniature tree in there growing on top of the wall there. It's got some weeds here. Look at our little brancher out. Now our shamrock is starting to grow a bit crazy now as well, so I think we're going to pull that out a bit. It'll probably still have left roots in amongst it, so it will still grow, but we need to get rid of some of it. It's starting to spread over everything. And it's funny that this grew here, this Irish shamrock, because I grew this as an Irish wall that you see around here in Ireland. You get these old stone walls with lots of little bushes and trees and things growing around them and on top of them. And like that, I never planted this shamrock on it, but it just grew. But you'd always find shamrock on stone walls and things around the place. So it's funny that it grew there by itself. Okay, so that's got rid of the shamrock out of there. I'm going to take back this guy as well a bit. This moss could do with pruning right back as well. Let's prune back this Chinese elm first. Again, these are just acting as little kind of bushes or trees or something. You know, you get all different kinds of trees growing around on the walls. The whole countryside is full of stone walls like this, and there's every different kind of trees and stuff growing on them. It's actually a great place to go and find Yamandori, because the trees grow on top of the walls and things, and then they get a kind of a flat root base, so we can find them. They're good. Hawthorn, things like that tend to grow quite a lot on them. Don't think you'd find any Chinese elms, but on this one we do have Chinese elms. Okay, so let's clean that back a little bit. Just start to see the wall a bit now. The moss does need a bit of a pruning back. A little time here. Just give that a light pruning. I don't mind that coming over the edge there. So we just need to prune back this moss. There's a few weeds as well we'll get rid of. Where's my curved scissors? I can never remember which one of me curved, not them ones. Curved. Which are my curved scissors? I've just got a slight curl on the end, so they're handy just to prune back the moss a bit. Not much point having a stone wall penjing if you can't actually see the wall. Put that for this bit. Let's see a bit better. Places it'll be a little bit brown, but it won't be long green enough once it's started growing again. That's the thing with penjings like this, little ones like this, you tend to work on them a bit more than you would a tree, say, because you don't want them getting out of control. They completely fill with weeds or whatever, you kind of end up having to start again, so you tend to find you work on them a bit more than an ordinary, just a tree by itself. There's a little bit more to them, which I kind of like because it keeps you busy. Just take this moss back a little bit too. Okay, so I just need to top up my soil a little bit there now. Back here, just not a lot to be done. It's still only soil, a bit more shamrock growing there. I did have this on with moss on it, but eventually the moss kind of died off. And until I get more moss to cover it again. The only moss I can really find at the moment is quite thick stuff, so it's not really ideal. You want kind of thin stuff really. Wind's picking up again. Okay, so that's not too bad now. We'll just fill that in a bit. Fine stuff again. Just to top it up. It's just a little pathway. It's little badges uses. Okay, the tree itself now. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, as you can see now, it's kind of getting a bit strong on this side, so I'm going to reduce this side back. Just looking at it, I'm just thinking, would it be better without this branch on it? So instead of having it all the way across, if I take this branch off, you'll actually be able to see into the trunk more. So I think I'm going to do that. Hopefully it'll be okay. Just like that, so you can just see into the trunk a little bit better. Up here as well, it's got very thick and long I need to reduce this back as well a bit. You don't want to just go chopping straight across it, or you'll just end up with all browned ends. You go in and you just take it out at the kind of in like that, and just take it out in there, and you can take out the long bit out of it. How's that looking? It's a little bit better. It's a tiny bit longer here. Let's see if we can take out another bit of that. We can reduce. That looks a little bit better. It's getting a bit thick back here too. I'm trying to see. Reduce this back a bit as well. Another thing you can do as well is just kind of get a hold of it like that and pinch off the tips. You can go around the whole tree doing that. That'll reduce it back as well a bit. Just sticking up funny up there. Branch growing back in on itself there. We'll get rid of that one. What I tend to do with this tree is do just a small bit at a time. I don't like to go in and just butcher it in one go. Just keep, because I have to keep doing the landscape so often, then I'll just do a little bit of the foliage on the tree as well each time, and then you don't end up having to butcher it all right back. You just do a bit at a time. Okay, let's have a look at that now. That's looking a bit better. Still a little thick here. So it kind of grows in plates, like kind of one on top of the other. And so you end up with it getting quite thick. It also sends some backing on itself, which kind of fills in the gaps in the tree. And you know, I like the gaps in my trees. Okay, how's that? That's looking pretty good now. I think I'm happy with that. Okay, so all in all, I think that's pretty much done. We can put that one back out on the bench till next time. And again, we'll do another bit on it. So let's get up another tree and we'll put this one to one side a minute. Let's put it down there and throw it away. Okay, the next one is this. Just to clean that off. This guy, some of you might just remember this. I planted some, these were cuttings that I was growing just from Chinese elms. And I had this kind of unusual rock. This was an aquarium. I got this out of an aquarium shop a long time ago. So I can't remember, did I cement it into this little tray or tie it in? It's just a kind of like a little, you buy them as little trays for bathrooms and things, but it was perfect. It's got little legs on it, and it's like done as like a black marble effect. So recently I had this one growing. You can see how thick now the roots are thickening up now on these. But this one, because the root was lifting, and this root here was growing into here, and it was getting quite thin, all the energy was going into this root. So I took it out of here and I threaded it through the hole here in the rock down to the soil, and I just built it up here with a little pot. I just cut the bottom off the pot, wrapped it round, built it up, because it was just getting to the soil, and I thought if I didn't have something else there to add a little bit extra, it would end up, it could dry out, and if that dies then I'll only have that holding this on. So I put it in here, and then I put a bit of wire on it and I wired it down so it's pulling the tree over this, behind this kind of groove in the rock, so it's pinning it in. So once this takes and tightens up, then I'm hoping it'll pin that there and it won't be able to move. The other guys, they're all doing quite well. I'm just going to give them a rough pruning back, just to keep them a little bit in shape, because they're really starting to send out long shoots now, and I want to try and keep them under some control if I can. To do that, I like to keep them pruned when they start getting a bit too energetic. This one isn't too bad. This one's going a lot slower, because obviously it's only got the soil here. Hopefully eventually it'll send the roots down into the tray from there, but you can see how slower that one is compared to the rest. The ones that are getting down into the tray are really starting to take off now. Just drop this one back a bit. This one has got one. See how long they can get if you let them run. This is after the one that isn't growing very strong. No wonder all the energy is growing into this one branch. So now if we prune that back, it might help it. The other branches grow a bit. Same with this one here. This whole branch can come off, I think. Okay, so I've got 3 of them done. Now this guy, it has a pocket of soil here which it's growing into. See, it's kind of quite dry. And the same with this one, it's got a pocket there. I'm hoping that I might be able to take a root out of there. I don't know if I will, and bring it down, and the same with this one, because like this one here I think will always have to be tied on. I can't see it, it's only got this one root going down into the thing, so I have a tiny bit of wire holding it on. Maybe I will put something in here, cement something in here that I can tie them to, so I can get rid of the front wires. This one I would say will be okay, because it's growing through that hole, so that will hold that tree in place, the rock itself. This one isn't actually growing through anything, it's just kind of perched on the end of the rock, so we'll have to think about that one. This guy is okay. I'll still keep it tied, and I need to untie it now. It's kind of loose behind that, but it's just stopping it falling, but I don't think it can fall anyway. but there's no point. It's not really doing anything, that only making sure it stays okay. So where's my scissors? Again, these were just whenever I do any pruning on bigger trees, if I get any cuttings or anything, I'll just keep them, stick them in a pot somewhere, and if they grow, maybe one day I can use them, which I did here. You never know what you might use one day, so I always recommend you take cuttings when you can, even if you don't really know if you want them right now. Next year you might come up with an idea and you might be looking for small little trees like these, and these worked out perfect on here. Got this branch back here. I'm not sure I want it all the way back here. Is it interfering with this tree a bit? Would it be better if I got rid of it? I think it would. I'm going to take that one off. Just like that. And these little bits here we can get rid of as well. Now winter's coming, we're going to be getting a lot more rain, so this will hopefully stay a lot wetter. Like obviously when I water it, whatever, I soak it, but it dries out very quick being up there. I'm not too worried about the bottom with weeds and stuff, because like that, once the trees are taken, all this will be taken out and we'll put some nice moss and gravel down there. I don't really want to go disturbing it too much now because I don't want to disturb the roots. A beetle. Yeah, I don't want to go disturbing the roots of the trees, so I'd rather leave the weeds and stuff. I'm just going to take out this liverwort though, because that will kind of prevent water getting in there. Just top it up with some soil. Caterpillar there. This is another one of these things from the little daddy long-legged guys that we call them here anyway. I thought that was what was killing the moss in my hobbit house, so I stripped all the moss off, but I don't think it was. The more I look at it, I think it just dried out, because I'm finding, look, there's another one, I found these all over the place and they're in some really nice moss and there's no damage at all to the moss. And when I looked it up, they don't do any damage to moss, they don't eat moss or anything. So I don't think it was them, I think it just dried out. It was on a shelf up high and the wind was hitting it a lot, so I think that's what's happened to it. I'm just wondering what this wire here was. I put this wire on, I think it was just to straighten that branch up. Yeah, I think it was just to straighten that up. Let me see if it's done its job so we can get rid of it. It hasn't been long. I don't want it biting in there and scarring that trunk, and now these are starting to really grow quick. It won't be long until it scars it. Okay, that'll do. I just need to fill in the back with some soil. Some of this fine stuff again. Just top it off, get rid of all that. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. Yeah, I think these are going to really grow pretty good now over the next year or so. They're going to really fill out, and eventually I'll have some nice, quite big trees up here with hopefully some good strong roots. Well, you can see how strong the roots are getting already. They were like really thin when I put them down. I had to actually wire them because they were so thin. I had to put wire on them to get them to go straight down. But yeah, you can see they're starting to really grow strong now. So yeah, so we'll leave it at that. Yeah, we'll put them out. Just that'll do for this video. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff, and we'll see you on the next one.